No.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:05. If you would all please rise for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence afterwards, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Okay, next on the agenda is roll call. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Queenie Barnes.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Here.
Trustee Mark McWhorter.
Here.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Here.
Trustee Betsy Harrison. Here. Trustee Ed Howell.
Present.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum, so we will continue on. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, and I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda by adding executive session for legal advice under CRS section 24-6402 4B to discuss settlement agreement for the wastewater treatment plant litigation and adding item settlement agreement after items for March 9th, 2022 agenda. I'd also like to make a motion to remove number 5 under discussion and action items to move it to March 9th. So I don't know if you want that to be 2 motions or if we want to loop it in.
The outfall pipe?
The outfall pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not numbered.
All right. I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks and a second by Trustee Cindy Simpson to amend the agenda to add an executive session under items for the March 9th, 2022 agenda and to remove item number 5, the outfall pipe extension project under discussion and action items. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of February 9th, 2022, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of February 9th, 2020 as presented by staff.
Second.
2022, excuse me.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Denise Bryan and a second by Trustee Betsy Harrison to approve the minutes of February 9th, 2022. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sound. Okay, motion is approved unanimously. Next on the item on the agenda is audience business, and I got it. Trustee Bryan, we don't have anybody signed up to speak under audience business, so we will move right along to announcements. Do we have any announcements?
The student council will be hosting Meet the Candidates this year. And so they should be reaching out to all of the candidates this week. They would like to do it March 15th, which is a Tuesday evening. And they'll be posting flyers and everything, but they are really excited to host the Meet the Candidates.
Cool. That's
Did they
cool.
pick a location? Will it be the community center or here?
Actually, the community center is booked Sunday through Friday every evening now, and so they are going to do it here.
Okay.
Other
Different people?
Yes.
Wow, that's
A lot of
cool.
different classes.
That's awesome.
So do we have any other announcements? Anybody else have any?
No.
All right, moving right along then, we'll have the committee reports, Mancos School District. Yeah.
I was unable to attend. I was out of town.
Okay. Montezuma County Planning Department, that was held on the Thursday, the 10th of February. We have 4 small public hearings for small 2-lot subdivisions. Most of it was giving the property subdivided out to give to family members, and so the planning and zoning recommended those go to the county commissioners. The fifth one was a long discussion. It was a public hearing from Rocky Mountain Meats. They're asking for a special use permit and rezoning. They're wanting to put in a USDA meat packing plant south of Cortez. They will do 50 head of cattle a week and no more than 200 a month. They're going to do like 50 a month that will be designated to local farmers and ranchers. It'll be a totally enclosed operation. So back when I think of a meat packing plant, the cattle are outside and the noise and the smell and all of that. Well, I guess there's the one down on Road 39 is enclosed, and this guy has been up to CSU where they've got the big one up there. It's in downtown Loveland, downtown Fort Collins, and there's no smell. The neighbors are not even, the cattle come in, they're housed inside, their sewer system handles all of it, and the waste, and like here, we are on a major route from New Mexico north, and so it would be a great place to have it. They're off of Highway 160 and 491 south of Cortez, and then a lot of the waste will be taken to a farm in New Mexico, and they'll use it as fertilizer. And one of the big issues, though, that they're concerned about is water, because it will take a lot of water for the processing of this, and the water district that this falls under does not have enough water allocated for them at the moment, but apparently the city of Cortez has more water. They just would need to designate it to that, but they have to go through the process of asking for that. And so that was the big discussion, is they wanted to make sure that the city would sell them the water, and they wanted to make sure that they had an engineering plan for the wastewater, because it also they didn't want any of the waste going into the Camel Creek, because it's right off of the canyon right there. So that was the two things that they sent to the county commissioners, that before that could be planning and zoning approved it, but before they recommended that county commissioners have those two things in front of them before they pass it. So that took a little while, a lot of discussion. There was some people there, a lot of people there for it, a lot of people there against it. So it was kind of interesting. But so that was that meeting. And we don't have a county commissioner here tonight to give us an update, so we will move on. The next is item I is discussion and action items. And the first one is to appoint Carol Stout to the Planning Commission. David, do you want to introduce that?
Who's Carol? None of us have ever met her. Yeah, no, great.
Carol Stout has been on the planning commission for a while, and she applied to be an actual member on it, a voting member.
And the P&Z did.
Yes, they did approve.
They did approve her to send to us. So.
Well, can I make a motion to approve Carol Stout as the new member of the planning commission?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Ed Hallam and a second by trustee Brent McWhirter and Betsy Harrison to approve Carol Stout as a member of the signing and zoning commission. Jamie, would you call the vote?
Mayor Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Aye.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Hallam.
Aye.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Welcome, Carol. Thank you. And thank you for
Thank you.
attending not only the planning and zoning meetings as an alternate, but for attending our meetings here. Because you, and our workshops too.
Very
Thank
appreciated.
you, yes. So next on the agenda is the public hearing for Livewell Holdings, Inc., transfer of ownership. So I will open the public hearing. And we have Anna Hatch signed up. You are on the agenda. Are you one of the owners, the new owners?
I am.
Okay. You can go ahead and speak if you want to for the public hearing. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, Mayor Bars, as always, it is a pleasure to be here to address you this evening. Livewell has been honored to be a member of your community since 2015, and we can't tell you how much we value being a member of your community and the strong partnership that we've had with your community. We are thrilled to be able to share this development in our company with you. We have entered an agreement to merge with PharmaCann Inc., which is another tenured marijuana business known as a multi-state operator. They have operations in the East Coast and Midwest states. We are just completely excited about this. We believe that there are many synergistic opportunities for us to benefit from each other's strengths. Ultimately, Livewell Holdings will remain intact and become a wholly owned subsidiary of PharmaCann Inc. And as such, there are no major, or at this point, minor operational changes that are planned. The same people who have been running Livewell Holdings will continue to do so. We'll just have a stronger parent that that's able to assist us with all of the challenges that cannabis companies can face. I'm more than happy to answer questions, but I'd also like to introduce Mayor Grafton, who is the Vice President of Legal for PharmaCann. He wanted to come by and introduce himself, say hello.
Okay. All right. And I think, Mayor, you're...
Trustees.
Would you do me a favor? I'm going to go back and ask you, would you please state your address?
Absolutely. Anna Hatch, 4120 St. Paul Street, Denver, Colorado, 80216.
Thank you.
Good evening, trustees, Ms. Mayor. My name is Mayor Grafton. I'm Vice President of Legal at PharmaCann Incorporated. I live in 3802 North Alta Vista Terrace, Chicago, Illinois. And it's a pleasure to be here this evening. I've had a chance to visit the dispensary right down the block, and I've heard, since we've been talking about this merger, about how wonderful the community is here and how what a great relationship that there's been with the town of Mancos. And so all I'm here tonight is to say thank you for that partnership in the past, and we anticipate that there will be no change going forward. Same people are going to be there. Ann and I have been working together, negotiating this deal for the last several months, and we'll be working together as soon as this deal closes, as well as colleagues. And we're looking forward to continuing that relationship. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you again. Any questions?
So, do you want to speak?
Oh, yeah.
This is a public hearing. Now's the time to speak.
Nathan Fate, 5873 Swadley Court, Arvada, Colorado, 80004. I've been part of the company since about 2014 when it opened up as Beacon Wellness Group. I've worked very closely with every board since that time. Me and my family, we've lived in Mancos for a few years. We always plan on trying to come back at some point. So we're really excited about it. My role in Livewell currently, we see quite a few people, around a little over 500 employees, and this is creating a lot of opportunity for folks out there. We're really excited about it, creating opportunity for myself, creating opportunity for the team. So working with PharmaCann the last handful of months, it's a good team. I believe in it. So we ask you to approve it. It's going to be a good thing for the staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So while the record, does anybody from the board have any questions? Okay. Anybody else in the audience that want to speak at the public hearing at this time? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 8:19 p.m., 7:19 p.m. And I will bring it back to the trustees. Any comments of the trustees? I would entertain a motion then.
I move we approve the change of ownership for Lidwell Holdings Incorporated, conditional upon state approval.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Brent McWhirter and a second by trustee Denise Bryant to approve the change of ownership for Livewell Holdings, Inc., conditional upon state approval. Jamie, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Aye.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Powell.
Aye.
Trustee Suri Simpson.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. So, okay, moving right along, we have a public hearing on the Mesa Verde Ventures Spatial Exception Expansion of Premises. And so I will open the public hearing at 7:02. And we have Brian and O'Connor. Okay, if you would approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. And
my name is Brian O'Connor. I represent Mesa Verde Holdings and Mesa Verde Ventures, 651 North Main Street in Mancos. Right. We are here to apply or petition for an expansion of our storage space over the existing square footage. It's an additional 644 square feet. The reason that we needed it is there was a slight tweak in the Department of Revenue testing regimen from the time that the blueprints were originally submitted to now. And in order to accommodate the Department of Revenue's dictates, we needed to double the space and add that space.
we were wondering why we were coming back, because we thought we just did this. So we just wondered, but it is because of state regulations.
Yeah, it's a good regulation. We support it. It makes for a healthier product, but the original blueprints were not big enough to anticipate this new dictate.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to speak from the audience? Okay. If not, I will close the public hearing at 7:21 and bring it back to the board. Does anybody have any questions or?
I have a question. When this first came through, I recall there being a neighbor who was concerned about the smell. They claimed to have allergies, and I was just wondering if we've had any complaints at all.
I know at one time they upgraded some filtration at
Yeah.
one time, and I've not heard anything since that.
I'll say since I've been on the board almost 4 years, we haven't had any issues. I do remember that from the news story actually before I was on the board, but I think that they had upgraded their.
It is an entirely new filtration system.
Yeah, because I thought you had a pretty
It's
sophisticated.
actually Department of Agriculture ruling as well. So
Yeah.
it should have been there in the first place, but that was replaced about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Marshall doesn't have any issues.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, now I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the special use permit request for increased square footage from 8,740 square feet to 9,384 square feet for the cultivation of marijuana by Mesa Verde Holdings LLC at 651 North Main Street, conditional upon state approval and receipt of updated CDOT access permit.
Second. Here we have a motion by trustee Brent McWhirter and a second by trustee Betsy Harrison to approve the special use permit request for increased square footage from 8,740 square feet to 9,384 square feet for the cultivation of marijuana by Mesa Verde Holdings LLC at 651 North Main Street, conditional upon state approval and receipt of updated CDOT access permit. Jamie, would you call the vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McWhirter.
Aye.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Betsy Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Powell.
Aye.
Trustee Suri Simpson.
Hi.
Okay, motion has passed unanimously. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yes. Next on the agenda is the Public Art Project Contract Award Phase 1. Jamie, do you want to introduce that?
We further attached the proposal for the public art management plan. So this is just everything that we kind of went over at the meeting, or not the meeting, it was the workshop, the last one. And it's getting into a nice little management plan, so if you guys agree with it, we will go forward.
And I have a couple of comments. Since I'm on the Creative District Board, I would be recusing myself from a vote on this anyway. But because of the weather, the two people that were going to, President and Executive Director, were going to come and answer questions. But I told them since I was going to be here anyway and can answer questions for the board.
Actually, if you're recusing yourself, you need to leave the room.
Pardon?
If you're going to recuse yourself, you need to leave the room, not be involved in the discussion.
But how can I answer questions?
You can't.
I mean,
Because.
David?
But we're not
I think
voting
she has
on
to
it.
step out of
I mean, I can
seat
leave when
and go over
there's
there.
a vote, but
Yeah, generally, I think this is in our board trustee protocol, that if board member has a conflict and they don't participate in the discussion, and try to influence the other board members or present or.
But we've had board members answer questions before.
No, we haven't.
Yes,
Not
we
supposed
have.
to. Not supposed to.
We
then I'll
have.
leave and then you can talk about it. I mean, if you don't have any questions, I'll just go now.
But I thought, I know in the past, you've moved to there and not been in the board discussion, but you could answer questions, but not interject. That's the way I remember when we did it in the past.
Well,
It doesn't mean semantics.
I mean, I think we should follow
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I don't know, maybe we've done it different ways in the past, but, with the protocol, that's, what it provides. The reasoning is that, because you guys are in board together, that you may give extra deference to the board members presenting to the board. When you get uncomfortable to, not approve something that they ask the board. So that's just how we got it, and I think that's how, the protocols, we have to know. We have to always follow that. So that'd be my recommendation, is to, do it that way. If there are questions, that part I don't know how to do, maybe there's a creative way to get them answered so we can still consider this tonight.
I mean, I'll do whatever you want. I'll leave the room now. If there's a question on here that's not clear, somebody can come out and get me, or I can stay here to answer any immediate questions and then go. I don't really care.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, it looks pretty straight up to me.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll leave.
But we're not really voting on anything.
can't.
are we?
It says if a decision is made,
It just says to review this, right?
no,
And provide direction or decision.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it kind of took into consideration all the things that we brought up during the workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like everything's covered.
And it's pretty easy to read too.
Yeah, and,
Which is
and
nice.
she really separated like what they're gonna do, phase 1, 2, phase 3, us.
Well, you could tell that TJ is a graphic designer because it's super concise and easy to read.
Yeah.
And I like that it gives approval to the town on any major steps that are taken.
Yeah. So my understanding then in this phase two, that the creative district then reviews all the applicants and scores them, and then they bring it to us to make the final selection. Is that how you do that?
Yep.
Yeah, and that they're not going, one of the elements that we talked about was they're not going to weed anyone out.
Yeah.
They're simply going to score them all, and then we're presented with them all.
Right.
And that way it's,
Well,
you know,
by scoring the
fair.
two, it'll make it easier on the board to, see if there's a lot of work that needs to be done or maintenance that needs to be done beforehand too.
mhm.
Okay.
Because that's gonna be part of their scoring is like how much,
Ongoing.
site work
Has
is
to
done
be done.
beforehand or.
All right, yeah. Site work, ongoing maintenance,
Yeah,
things like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
No, I think it's a great proposal.
Mhm.
And I think it works well for the town and it utilizes the strengths of the creative district to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they really did listen to what we had to say because
Yep.
the other one I was an objection to, so bring it back, they will present all applications to us, not just the ones that they thought
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
chose because it is our money.
Mhm.
And then we're presenting the check to the
Well, I think
The
some of that
artist.
was just miscommunication between us and them getting started because it's a new board president and it's a new
Mhm.
executive director
Yeah.
too. I don't think they understood completely the scope
Yeah.
of
Right.
what they wanted.
And it looked like maybe one person wrote that first page where it
Yeah.
was incorrect, and then somebody else wrote
Yeah,
like
'cause they
the rest of
kind
it,
of-
which
they
was
were-
correct.
They
So,
were not, they didn't jive.
Yeah, yeah.
The 2 pages.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so I think it's a great one.
So do we want to approve this and send it to Heather? If we,
Yeah, and then I think it comes back with like a resolution or something, right? Because this would be added into our town code? Because it would be a process or procedure.
it would be a.
I'm not sure what happens to it after this.
Just do that.
Memorandum of understanding.
Mhm.
I don't think it has to be something that gets codified. This is just because it's not something that's.
Well, our current process is in our code, right? Oh, I thought it was.
I don't believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No.
okay.
So they do have any other comments? Yes, no? Do you have any other
Oh,
comments?
no, sorry. No, I was reading.
Okay,
I didn't hear my name.
I'm sorry.
We're all just staring at you.
Well,
Yeah, everyone stared at.
Denise, Cindy,
No, I don't have any comment.
no? Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the proposal for the Mancos Creative District for public art.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Brent McWhorter and a second by trustee Denise Bryant to accept the proposal from the Mancos Creative District regarding our public art program. Jamie, would you call the vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Brent McGregor.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Howland.
All right.
Trustee Denise Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Danielle, all flight extensions been postponed, correct?
Congratulations.
You did a great job too.
Okay, moving right along, we will discuss the items for the March 9th agenda. We'll have the design review guidelines discussion, that's the workshop, and we're going to do that at 5 instead of 6.
Yes.
Because we've got quite an extensive discussion on that, so that will start at 5 o'clock. We'll have the February bills and claims, we'll have the committee reports, the updated trustee protocols, and trustee orientation information. So if you haven't brought your book in, your notebook in, please get that to Heather so she can get that updated and get it ready for the new trustees, okay? So Second, next is the Pecan Albert subdivision discussion. And we will move the outfall pipe extension project contract award phase 1 down to the March 9th. We don't know where that's going to go in the agenda, but it will be moved to that. Does anybody else have anything else that needs to be discussed? Okay. If you do, please let Heather know if something comes up between now and then. So next on the agenda is the executive session. And, hold on a second,
Do you know if the
go ahead now.
To make a motion to go into executive session for a conference with the town attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6402-4B regarding settlement agreement with regard to the wastewater treatment plant litigation.
Second.
Okay, Jamie, would you call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks.
Aye.
Trustee Brenda Queer.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay Harrison.
Aye.
Trustee Ed Allen.
Aye.
Trustee Chase Bryan.
Aye.
Trustee Cindy Simpson.
Aye.
Okay,